After a global war resulted in widespread oil shortages and ecocide, civilization collapsed, and the world descended into chaos. Now, former policeman Max, haunted by the death of his family, drives his supercharged black V8 Pursuit Special around the desert wilderness of Australia, scavenging for food and petrol with his Australian cattle dog. He outmaneuvers a small group of marauders led by the unhinged biker Wes, using his driving skills and a sawed-off shotgun. He steals some gasoline from one of the wrecked vehicles of one of his pursuers, and inspects a wrecked semi-trailer and prime mover. Later, Max tries collecting an apparently abandoned gyrocopter's fuel, but is ambushed by the pilot. Max overpowers the man with his dog's help, sparing his life in return for being led to a working oil refinery the pilot has discovered. They arrive during the daily attack on the facility by a motley motorized gang, whose members include Wes. The next day, Max witnesses several cars leave the besieged compound and get chased down by marauders. He rescues Nathan, the sole survivor of one car, and strikes a deal to return him to the complex in exchange for fuel. But the man dies shortly after Max gets him back, and the leader of the settlers, Pappagallo, says the deal died with Nathan. The settlers are about to confiscate Max's car and cast him out of their compound when the marauders return to parley. A feral child who lives in the refinery compound kills Wes's partner with a metal boomerang, and Wes wants revenge. But the gang's leader, a muscular masked man called Lord Humungus, offers to spare the settlers' lives in exchange for their fuel supply and leaves for the day. However, several of the settlers suspect Humungus has no intention of letting them survive. With the settlers split about what to do, Max offers his own deal. He will bring them the semi-truck he saw earlier so they can try to haul away their tanker full of oil, if they return his car and give him as much fuel as he can carry. The settlers agree to let him try, and that night, Max sneaks past the marauders on foot, carrying fuel for the truck. He encounters the gyro captain and forces the man to fly him to the truck, which he is able to get started. It is somewhat damaged as Max passes through the marauders' encampment on the way back to the refinery, but he makes it, followed by the gyrocopter. Max refuses Pappagallo's proposal to accompany the settlers to a fabled northern paradise, opting instead to collect his fuel and leave. Wes catches him using Humungus's nitrous oxide-equipped vehicle and causes him to crash. A marauder kills Max's dog and is about to kill the seriously injured Max when a marauder named Toady attempts to siphon the fuel from the Pursuit Special's tanks, triggering the car to self-destruct. Left for dead, Max is rescued by the gyro captain and returned to the compound. Despite his injuries, Max insists on driving the repaired truck during the escape. His support consists of the gyro captain, Pappagallo in a separate vehicle, 3 of the settlers on the outside of the armored tanker, and the feral kid, who jumps on the truck as it is leaving. The marauders pursue the tanker, allowing the remaining settlers to flee their compound in a caravan of smaller vehicles after rigging the refinery to explode. Pappagallo and the 3 settlers are killed, and the gyro captain is shot down. Max turns the truck around, and as he is fighting with Wes, Humungus collides with the truck head-on, killing Wes and himself. The truck rolls off the road, and the surviving marauders survey the scene, only to abandon their chase when they see the tanker leaking sand and not gas. As Max carries the feral kid from the wrecked tanker, he inspects the sand pouring out. The gyro captain drives up, and the two share a grin as Max realizes the tanker had been a diversion the whole time. They rendezvous with the settlers, who transported the fuel in oil drums inside their vehicles. The gyro captain succeeds Pappagallo as leader of the settlers and takes them north. The feral kid, revealing himself as the film's narrator, relates that he became chief of the Great Northern Tribe when he grew up. He concludes by saying that he never saw the Road Warrior again.